is Monday, December 2nd. We are in December. So whatever that means, I'm in New Jersey. It's cold as F. You got 1 month until the end of the year. So you've got 1 month. We still have sales going on because what's today? It's Cyber Monday. So I just want to, again, I'm going to go over this very quickly, but Trendspider is having a sale, and it's Cyber Monday sale. It's the same discount as you got on Black Friday, but they've sweetened the offer a little. They give you 1 year of Signal Stack. Okay, what's Signal Stack? Signal Stack is basically the bot program that they have where you can trade in with a bot. So it just means that, hey, we're going to give you an additional $270 value. So if you find a strategy using the AI lab, using your own, you could use the 4-hour algorithm if you want to just automatically trade MicroStrategy or, Tesla, one of those that really works out on the 4-hour. And you can do it and you don't even have to think about it. The bot trades it in a brokerage firm for you. So they'll give you a year of that so you can try it out as well. It's just an additional thing. I personally don't use Signal Stack. That's why I never mention it, is because I don't use it. But after talking with Trendspider, every one of their employees uses it. So again, it's an additional benefit. Remember, standard is great, but for $4 more a month, you get one free one-on-one session here with the enhanced plan. It's a fantastic deal. Get it before it ends 15 hours from now. And if you have it within your budget, the advanced portion, this comes with everything that you need, plus free, unlimited one-on-one training. So with the standard, you don't get the AI strategy lab. I think that's going to be a game changer. So you also get my 4-hour algorithm with Signal Stack. This is a bot trading program. I don't do bots, MicroStrategy and Tesla, yeah. If you decide that you want to enter contests, there are 2 contests that you can win, okay? The first is my contest on Twitter. It is pinned to the top of my profile. All you got to do is follow me, follow Trendspider, and then leave a comment below. You have a 1 in 62 chance as of right now in winning a free year of Trendspider Advanced. That's the one that comes with unlimited one-on-one training. Now, how do you get to Trendspider to see everything that comes here? You go to my link tree. It's down below, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. You'll come to this page. Trendspider's up at the top. But that's the first contest. Again, it's on my Twitter. You can get to that from Linktree. The X is right there. If you want to know what it is, it's twitter.com/dailystockpick3. And so that's my Twitter. Now, there's a second contest, and you have worse odds on getting this one. But you do have an ability. Cyber Monday is here. Step into it, and they've got it here. The offer ends. I thought they had it pinned with the contest. Let me see. There is a contest on Trendspider. I put it on mine. I will put it in the newsletter. Here it is. Trendspider and game-changing build-to-back testing, they're promoting it. There is a contest with Trendspider as well. And they're giving away all 3 tiers, meaning they're giving away 3 versions of it. I will find it on my you can find it on my Twitter if you go down and look at my Twitter. It is there. I think they have something like 300 entries or something like that last time I looked. But it is there. Again, you can double your opportunity to actually win. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down to see where it is. But there it is. Giveaway. Right here. This giveaway right here. They have 130 comments. So cutoff for entry is 12/1/24. Oh, they cut off the entry. So you had your chance, but mine is still going on until the end of day today. So make sure you get it, enter it. You have a 1 in 62 chance. It's a great opportunity to try and get Trendspider for free for 1 year. Again, it's an opportunity that I don't think that you should miss. Now, what's today? It's the 2nd, so it's the 1st of the month. What do we get on the 1st of the month? We get an alpha pick. And what's alpha pick? Alpha Picks is a portfolio. It's a data-driven portfolio. You can see the performance here, 184% versus 59%. I did a YouTube video. I will include it in the newsletter if you want to watch it. I put somewhere near $120,000 between my parents and mine into this portfolio. It has killed it since I got into it in late October. So It's never too late to get in. They give you allocation performance. I go over on the YouTube video exactly how to do this. But we do get a new pick today, so you're going to add 1%. So if I bought $50,000 worth of it, I'm going to buy $500 of this new stock that they are going to email you at noontime. So, and if you signed up for Trendspider, and there were a lot of people that signed up for Trendspider, one of the things that I do in my newsletter is when I find these opportunities to import things, I will include the link. You guys know when you email me after you sign up for Trendspider, I send you a bunch of links. You need to be in my affiliate program to get my stuff. But this kind of stuff, this general stuff that Trendspider puts out there, you can import it easily into your system. So this is a look at small caps. They are super hot right now. And you can see this looks for the hottest small cap stocks in Trendspider. You can import this link, import this scanner right into your setup. You can trade those however you want. So I like that one. I like it a lot. The other thing that I like a lot is Webull. And I know I say this a lot, but Webull is just a great platform for me to trade in. I don't like it from a brokerage standpoint. And the reason that I don't like it from a brokerage standpoint is exactly what happened to me last Friday. I had a great meeting with my Fidelity financial advisor, Stuart. And you can get Stuart as your advisor if you have Fidelity. Just email me. And how do you email me? Go over to the link tree. Okay, up here in the upper right-hand corner is my email address. Just email me. I love Webull for trading, but I had a meeting with Stuart. He gave me great year-end tax advice for my situation. He said, this is what you want to do. And so I've been dealing with Stuart for, I guess, about maybe 10 years now, 5 years, somewhere in that neighborhood. He has been a fantastic resource for me. He handles my family's business. He handles friends' business, anything. And it comes as a service that is provided by Fidelity. So he doesn't lead me into, he finds out exactly what your trading style is, what your investment style is, and he'll make suggestions. You don't have to take them. He doesn't steer you towards Fidelity specific stuff, but he's really good. So again, I use Webull for trading, and I love this weekly thing. It just gives you, we got ISM. The biggest thing that we've got is this Friday, we get the unemployment rate for November. It's expected to be 4.1%. If that starts to go up and we start to see inflation go up, you could start to see the market cool off a little bit. But we also have CRM, Synopsys, and Marvell with earnings this week. I like this. Now, if you want Webull, I tell people I traded my sports betting for a Webull account, and I've turned $1,000 into almost $11,000 because I'm much better at stocks. But down here, join Webull and get up to 75 stocks for free. You can click on that link or go to my Twitter and you can see this one and you can click on that link. But when you sign up through that link, you get free stocks. So it makes sense to sign up. But again, I do it instead of my betting portfolio because I suck at sports betting. I really do. I would normally put in $500 at the beginning of the year. The sports book would actually match the $500, and then I'd wind up with zero by the end of the year, and just rinse and repeat by next year. So this is just a better way of me playing the sports betting. Now, Tom Lee is just being Tom Lee. He says the S&P will rally to 6,300 and Bitcoin will be well above 100,000 by the end of the year. Well, let's look at the S&P because what do? We look at SPY for the S&P. 6,300 would be 630. Okay, you're trading at 602 in the pre-market, 602.50. That's a good move. That's what, 5%? I mean, Tom is being Tom. Now, from a 4-hour perspective, you can see that 511, great buy. That was just back in August when you had that Japan unwind trade. It's fantastic. If you look at the weekly, you're a bit stretched. So I don't know that Tom's wrong. Again, don't be afraid of buying into all-time highs. I think you've just got to put your time frame. It's not going to be next week that you're making 10, 15%. I think Tom's wrong. I don't think we get to 630 by the end of the year. If we do, great. I'm in the market. I love it. If we don't, then hey, I was right. big deal. I'm in the market. I don't care right now where we go because I'm in the market. I'm going to rebalance my portfolio from now until the end of the year just to make sure that I set myself up for 2025. And if we get to 630, I'll be looking for a January pullback to try and get more into the market. Now, Bitcoin is another one. This has been bouncing up. I've got a Bitcoin and crypto list where I do have Bitcoin to the US dollar pinned up here. And you can look at it. We're at 95,636. And you can see the 4-hour algorithm got you out with a 1% loss. You can trade Bitcoin in the 4-hour algorithm over the last 5.6 months. 5.6 months, you've made 59% versus buy and hold. You've made 45%. There are 24 positions. Remember, this is a 24/7 commodity, I guess is what you'd call it. But Bitcoin is down. It is going down. This is against the Coinbase stuff. Coinbase Bitcoin to the US dollars. It's at 95,000. I trade in IBIT and I trade in MicroStrategy. Those are the two. So if Tom says it's going to be up there over 100,000, you can buy it even outside the algorithm. My time frame on Bitcoin is much, much longer. So I do think that next year we're up at least 50% on that one at some point in time. Tom thinks by the end of next year, Bitcoin will reach 250,000. So if you buy it at 95,000 and all of a sudden it dips and then Tom's right that it goes to 250,000 next year, you're not even going to worry about it. Take a certain portion of your money and put it in that. You can absolutely make some life-changing money in Bitcoin. But if you lose 5%, if you lose 3%, if you lose 1% of your portfolio, just don't go too far overweight in your portfolio on it. Because, again, I lost sleep with MicroStrategy being up that high. I took 148% gain. And I got out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving just because I couldn't do it. So now let's look at some history of the market, because Dan Niles posted this, and I found this interesting. Over the last 75 years, there's been 16 times when the S&P year to date through November is up 20% plus. In those cases, December is up 1.9% and up 75% of the time, versus any December up 1.5% and up 75%. Given the economy is strong and financial conditions are easy, I believe history will rhyme, to the paraphrase Mark Twain. He's saying it's going to go up. And I'd argue he's probably right. The economy is strong. You've got an administration that is very favorable to business coming into play. So I do think that you're looking at probably a good year ahead. Now, what are the biggest winners this year so far? It's Vistra, which is energy. It's Palantir, which is AI. Texas Pacific, which is up 209%. NVIDIA, which is AI. GE Vernova, which is energy. Axon, which has an AI play. Targa, United Airlines, which is nothing. Constellation Energy, energy and AI. So I think energy and AI are very good sectors to be in. I think those two things will provide you very well. If you want to pick a winner, you can pick a winner, or you can just do XLK and XLE, the sectors, either one. iPhone demand, I'm going to talk my book a little bit here, because Apple closed at an all-time high on Friday. I'm talking my book. iPhone 16 demand seen as slightly ahead to in line with expectations. That's what drives Apple. And if we look at the Apple chart, it's down 0.05% to 237.22 in the pre-market. On the 4-hour, you got in at 227. Over 24 months, so 2 years, you make 47% versus 56% buying and holding. 30 positions, you only win 33% of the time. So take it with a grain of salt, because you're only winning 3 out of 10 times. That's the reality of the algorithm, but it still makes you 47%. So if you can't sleep at night, the algorithm might be a better opportunity for you. But again, it got you in at 227. You can see right here, that 228 right there. I think that's providing a pretty good support area. Do you want to buy here at 237? Depends on your time frame. I am probably looking to sell a large portion of Apple before the end of the year just for tax purposes. Nothing more than tax purposes, because I do believe, like Dan Niles does, I think iPhone 16 will drive this company. I think you'll continue to make a ton of money. I think they'll start to buy back stock, and your stock price will still go up. So I think big gets bigger on that realm. Dan Ives, not Niles, says we expect tech stocks to be strong with a standstill rally as the street further digests the latest regulatory spiderweb under Trump with con FTC days in the rearview mirror. Stronger AI initiatives on the way and a Goldilocks foundation for big tech and Tesla into 2025. He's expecting a little rally here. And if we just look at Tesla, Tesla has been on a tear. Now, if you don't know, over the weekend, the FSD 13, I think it was FSD 13. It's the latest iteration, was released to a select few. I didn't get it yet. I haven't tested it out. I've been watching some of Omar, who is Mars Catalog, I think is his name, on YouTube. Some of his drives are amazing. Dirty Tesla had some amazing stuff. This one in particular, it reverses, which is a big deal because you used to have to be on the street or currently driving to start FSD. Now you can be in your freaking garage. It'll back out and it'll take you on your way. So it's pretty impressive. This is what the robo-taxis were running. So now it's starting to get out there. And with regulations being eased, I think you're going to see full self-driving really start to take place on federal highways in particular. And I think Trump will actually get it into certain states like Texas and things of that sort as well. As long as there's a Republican kind of favorable, I think Trump is going to push those governors to try and push it so that it's both on state roads and federal so that Elon can test it. It's up 1.95%. Do I buy it 350? I own this one through XLY. And XLY is continuing to just be a good play on it. I mean, XLY for me, I think it's 40% between Amazon and Tesla. And I think both of those continue to run. And it provides me some kind of, just a little coverage, insulation against a major pullback. So I do think you see that tech rally start to run. And I like it. So XLK is the one. Now, speaking of power and Bitcoin, WULF, this is the one. TeraWulf has been the strongest Bitcoin miner this cycle. It's rallied 541% over the past year, 229% year to date. Now, HUT, the second best Bitcoin miner by far. So there's a couple of them here, okay? TLN is one of the energy sectors that you can play. That is one of the energy makers. TLN, we saw that one. I've been over that one, I think, on Seeking Alpha. It's still a strong buy. This one, you can see, it's just run here. This one was an IPO back in July. And it's up, 79% if you just bought and held over the last 4 months. That's huge. Now, the algorithm hasn't done great, but that's because it missed out on this whole run. It got in here, made you 13%, got in here, lost you 7%, got in here at 197, you're at 214. But WULF is one where the algorithm got you in super, super early, I think. $7.81 with today. But it just got you out with a 59% gain. Is this one going to go for a run? You win 40% of the time with the algorithm on this one. So this particular tweet, you can read about this one. Stanley Druckenmiller was the big one that brought up WULF. That's what got it started pumping, is that he believes in that one. Now, Stephanie Link, who I like, decade-long policies, a $50 trillion opportunity in the energy transition to nuclear power, ETN, GE Vernova, ROK, and NEE. Those are the ones that she's recommending. So take a look at those. Again, you look at the year-to-date, Vistra's up. You can look at the other stuff. All of this stuff points to power being a main play. And then Bitcoin. Michael Saylor gave his presentation to the Microsoft board about taking their cash position, which was just approved by shareholders, and putting it into Bitcoin. This is why I'm bullish on Microsoft, on MicroStrategy, and IBIT. Again, you may say, hey, it's just a Ponzi scheme and it's a leverage thing. Yes, it is. Honest to God, it is. But Bitcoin, for me, it's got a supply-demand issue. You've got all of this demand between the ETFs, between people wanting to own it, and then MicroStrategy having this billions and billions of dollars to try and buy it. And then you've got other companies like Rumble and Microsoft that want to buy it as part of their reserves. And then you've got a limited supply. It's a simple supply and demand story. So I'm going to trade MicroStrategy, and we can look at MicroStrategy in the 4-hour algorithm because this one trades really well. I got out of it. I said in my newsletter, if you want to see the newsletter this weekend, you can go to dailystockpick.substack.com. And I said in my newsletter this weekend, I sold it. Why did I sell it? Well, I tried to play the algorithm. The algorithm hasn't gotten you out. I tried to play it on Wednesday. I said I couldn't sleep knowing that we're going to have a holiday and then a weekend. And I said, I don't want to chance it. I think the algorithm might get you out. It hasn't. It hasn't. It very well may get you back in the next run. But you may still go up. That you can see the algorithm got you in here at 125. You're at 387 right now. In pre-market, it's at 391. I sold out at 380. So did I time it correctly? No. But with 148% gain, with almost 6 figures, okay, in one trade, in just what, a month, maybe 2 months? I added during this entire time. So I did really, really well. When I can't sleep at night, it's time to get out. This is a leveraged ETF. So in my mind, I don't want to, hold on for over a weekend, over a 4-day. Well, it was going to be a 4-day weekend. Thursday was Thanksgiving. Friday was going to be light trading. You were only open half a day. So this isn't like Bitcoin where I can get out 24/7. That's why I traded it. But I like it, and I like it a lot. So we went over this one. Trending stocks this week as the holiday season begins. I like this one because this one went over some of the recent winners. Rivian, CrowdStrike, Rocket Lab, Autodesk, Arrow Pharmaceuticals, Nutanix, Exact Sciences, Dell, HPQ, Supermicro, Symbiotics, and the solar stocks. This article goes over everything. Some of the trending stocks this week, and I liked this article. It kind of pointed out a lot of things to me about those trending stocks. I may look to trade some of those, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to have time to trade. So it was a good article to read. It was a good article to read about the winners and stuff like that. Now, semiconductors, SMH. I know I've led some people into the semiconductors. This is an interesting one because if you look at the daily on this, the 200-day has been a buy. I mean, that's been a pretty good catalyst for the way up. See that red line right there? That's the 200-day. And so this is on my chart. You can see right there, boom, up. You can see right here, boom, up. You can see the 200-day is almost a trend line. So what Trendspider is pointing out is that on this SMH daily chart, it might be a time to buy. Again, when you touch that 200-day, it might be a time to buy. Is semiconductors going to get today? We got a word that the administration is going to pull some of their semis to China back. So maybe it makes sense to kind of buy it on a whim. But again, I think your time frame needs to be a little bit higher. You can play some of those triple leveraged ETFs like I was, SOXL. I haven't gotten out of this one, but I probably should, to be honest with you. It's just, let's see, SOXL in pre-market is up 1.78, but the 200 days moving down. SMH, maybe just be a better play. I might get out of this one and move to SMH. This is a triple leveraged ETF on the semiconductors. So you have to worry about that one a little bit. And I do, FYI, I do worry about that one. It's not a large position. It's a very small position. Ned Davis Research compares the market's reaction to Trump 2016 versus 2024. I thought this was super interesting because it goes over energy, financials, technology, industrials, healthcare. It goes over the sectors and what each one of them did in 2016 versus what they're doing now. FYI, spoiler, financials, big. Financials were big under Trump. So is that something that you want to go into? We can look at XLF. I in my newsletter this weekend, I went over a couple of ETFs with the financials based on Seeking Alpha's recommendations. And I said, XLF, maybe you want to go into this one, but there might be a better one that you want to go into. Again, that's in the newsletter. That's in this 2024 portfolio to do or cleanup list. And some things to get you started for 2025. So this was a great list. I thought it was really well written about what happened in 2016 and what we're seeing now in 2024. So And if there's any doubt in your mind what we're going to see, if you remember 2017 through 2020, prior to COVID, charts didn't matter because Trump essentially would wipe out a chart. You would be in the most bullish chart, bull flag pattern, and then all of a sudden a tweet would come out and you'd be down 20%. I'd expect that to happen again. What we saw with the BRICS tweet this weekend, I'd expect this type of volatility to happen again. I just don't expect it to stop. I expect that type of volatility to happen again. Now, I did say for the past couple of weeks that my first rule in investing is that price is the only thing that matters. Now, Warren Buffett here, basically, he says it's not price that matters. He doesn't care about the price of the stock. He cares about the fundamentals of the stock. We differ in that realm. Warren Buffett has never looked at a stock chart. So I thought this particular clip was very interesting for you to listen to because, again, he's the greatest investor in our time, in probably history. But he's got some great clips about it. And I think it leads me into the next discussion of what I had. Because if you go to dailystockpick.substack.com, many of you may not know there's a chat. Okay. And we don't have a chat set up for just paid subscribers. There's paid and there's free. And Eli has been posting in here a lot about his process. He does an amazing job in investigating stuff, in researching. He did this on quantum computing. He's also got a thread on some of the AI stuff that he ran, and he does watch lists, and he uses Seeking Alpha and Trendspider. He uses the tools that you most likely have. And so he sets up watch lists and does this stuff. And so he wanted me to look at a couple of stocks, SOUN and APLD, which are both, they have kind of quantum computing, I think, in them. SOUN is an AI play. And we can go over here and look at it real quick. But the most important thing that I wanted to point out that's in this thread is I replied with a great story, and this was given to me by Stuart, my financial advisor, on Friday. And again, he's great for stuff like this. This is a good article for you to read because Stuart had outlined this to me. When cars first came about, people were saying, I'm going to make a fortune by investing in cars because I'm seeing some of these cars out there. When cars first came out, there were 3,000 companies that actually made cars. In order to win on cars, you had to pick 3 because there were only 3 that actually won. He said that the best investment was to actually short horses. So his focus is stock picking is super, super hard. And picking winners in something like quantum computing might be super, super tough. And so when Eli does all of this research and all of this look back, I do think it's a great process to go through. But in my mind, I would say price is the only thing that matters with something that's not making money. So something that's not making money, we can look at like a Rivian, to keep the car field going. We can take a look at a Rivian. And for me, price is what matters. Let me just refresh real quick. And we're going to go back into the 4-hour algorithm down here. Boom. And we're going to take this and RIVN. And when I look at Rivian, I say, okay, this one, they're not making money. So do I want to invest in them? I see some big swings on the 4-hour. Let me go see how the company's actually working. Well, that's a upper left to bottom right stock chart. So the only thing that matters to me is price. Is this one that's going to make money? I don't know. And that's what you want to do with something like SoundHound, which we can look at the financials. They have $67 million in revenue. That's not a lot. The actual company's market cap is $3.4 billion. And so when you go and you look at valuation in Seeking Alpha, they're not going to have a lot. They're rating it a B because they do have some revenues. Their growth, they're seeing a 76% year over year revenue growth. That's great. Their profitability sucks. They're just not making money. They're spending more money than they're actually making. And so they don't have a path right now to profitability. But the momentum, you're up 92% in just 3 months. You're up 98% in 6 months. You're up 28% in 9 months. You're up 304% in 1 year. So if we go over to SOUN, I don't think it matters what the actual, thesis of the business, shall I say? I don't think it matters. I think what matters is, can you make money in this stock? And the reality of it right now, in the 4 hour, you make 1,449% on 26 positions. You win 46% of the time. If you just bought and held for the last 24 months, you're up 440%. So in my mind, when I say price is all that matters, do all the research you want. Spend all the time you want. But in that realm, go back to the Warren Buffett story. 10 years from now, is SOUN one of the winners? I don't know. I mean, you could be lucky and you could pick one of those winners. But in my mind, when I see a company that doesn't have good profits, it has a good product, probably has good management, I just don't know enough about this company. So in my mind, I'd trade it. But again, when Eli does his research, he does a ton of research into this. And when you take a look at this, he wants me to look at, let me see, there's another one that he wanted me to look at. It's APLD. Let's look at APLD. It's probably very similar to SoundHound. We can go to the summary. It's a strong buy in the quant. Their market cap is $2.13 billion. If we go over to the financials and we look at it, they're making $190 million in revenue. So it's not huge. If we go to some of the quant ratings, we can see the valuations is B. They're still not making money. Again, they're just not making money. When you go to growth, they're growing revenue year over year 124%. Their profitability sucks. They're losing money. But their momentum, you can't argue with it. 164% over 3 months. This is Applied Digital Corporation. And then the revisions from Wall Street, it's 7 up, 0 down. When you look at Wall Street on this one, it's trading at $10. Wall Street has 7 analysts that cover this, and they're saying $11. So that's a 9% move up. So again, when I say price is all that matters, understand Buffett, the greatest investor in history, he said the trade for cars wasn't to buy a car company, it was to short horses. And I think that's a good analogy for something like quantum computing, which hasn't come about yet. And we don't know who's going to be the winner. We know that, Google and NVIDIA, they're teaming up to do it. So I think those guys have all the money in the world to do it. But again, that's why I say there's a difference between an investment and a trade, and price is all that matters. Bullish Bites on Twitter, would love your opinion on this. Too expensive. Heard that all cap Brad Gerstner sold his Uber and swapped it for Tesla. I wonder what his dollar cost average is. So I think what you're asking is Tesla too expensive? I think Tesla is too expensive, but if they get full self-driving figured out, and they are very close. With version 13, I think it comes very close from what I've seen of some of the videos that have been out there. If they get that, and they get an Optimus robot out there, and they get some cyber cabs, I think it's game on. And so, for me, I think Wall Street might have this one wrong, because if they can figure out how to visually make a car drive, that gets their AI to a different level. And I think that's where the valuation starts to come into play. Mind you, I am not buying this one. If we look at Tesla right now, we talked about how, Rivian has no revenue. This one has tons of revenue. The problem is the valuation, what you're paying for the future. You're paying forward. The PEG, which is price to earnings and growth, you're paying 16 times, okay? 16 times. When you look at just PE, you're paying 139 times forward earnings. So the valuation for me just isn't there. The growth, the current growth of their revenue is not there, but you've got to have an eye on the future. So it's a risk. And when Brad Gerstner says, I'm pulling out my stuff in Uber and I'm putting it into Tesla, he's talking the AI stuff. Uber's not going anywhere. If there is a cyber cab, Uber's going to have a fleet of cyber cabs. What hasn't been proven, and what I think Uber has the ability to do, is remember, for Uber, it's the drivers that pay for the maintenance and the gas. If for some reason, Tesla is paying for the maintenance and the gas on those cyber cabs, or Uber pay, the monetization has not been worked out where that's a money-making opportunity. So in Tesla, it's not just the cyber cab, it's the AI portion. And so you've got to believe that that's coming about, and you're still overpaying for it. But don't bet against Musk. And so do I think that Gerstner made a mistake? No. I mean, we're going back to all-time highs on Tesla. And I've said it before. Your time frame needs to matter on this one. I don't want to pay the price for Tesla, but I'm willing to buy XLY in order to basically live in a Tesla. I have some exposure to Tesla, but that's going to be your own risk tolerance. Now, as far as scans go, we had a couple. XLY, in fact, just had another entry here, even though it gets you in here at $200 and we're trading at $223, not 2 months later. That's in a freaking sector to go up 10% in that time. That's enormous, and that's both Amazon. We can go over here and we can look at XLY. Look at the holdings of XLY here in Seeking Alpha. The holdings, 22% Amazon, 17% Tesla. It's 40%. It's 40% of this entire ETF, which has 61 positions. 40% is Amazon and Tesla. That's why you're up so much. That's why I like holding it. Just got to cross up in another entry into the out. It says, hey, we might be going for a bullish run, because notice how the MACD just reset itself. We might be going for another run. So XLY is one. Simon Property Group. This one trading at all-time highs. This one is, don't tell me the consumer's weak. I got a message from somebody this weekend that said, hey, I'm at a Simon Property Mall. It's freaking packed. It's packed. And you look at that run that it's been on. This is in the core portfolio. This is a great one. And in fact, QQQ. We just got another entry into the Qs at 508. And the MACD is right at the oscillator. Now, when you look at the weekly, it's a little bit stretched. But again, you don't want to be scared to get into all-time highs. The Bob story is pretty clear. So again, don't miss out on the Black Friday sales. It's a Cyber Monday sale for Trendspider. Do not miss out on it, because it's going up to regular prices. Okay, you are going to pay $1,000 for this service if you want it in the new year. Just buy it. Just buy it and get it in the next 15 hours. Now, Seeking Alpha, the bundle, it's $509. You save $289. This gets you both the Alpha Picks portfolio and premium. You get to look at stocks exactly like I do on this. Somebody emailed me over the weekend. Hey, do you have an example of what I get with Seeking Alpha or Trendspider? I'm like, dude, my podcast is the entire thing. It's what you get. So my entire podcast is an example of what you do. There is nothing that I hide. There is nothing that you won't have if you buy the Seeking Alpha bundle and Trendspider. Those are the things that I have. There is nothing that, my multi-million-dollar portfolio, this is how I manage it. I don't do anything on this pod. There is nothing hidden that I do. It's all out there. So again, you get the tools that you want. You manage. We all have different risk tolerances, and we all can't, sit in MicroStrategy and say, "Oh my God, I'm just gonna, enjoy this one." I got out. Now we're at 391. I got out at 380. So am I upset? No, it's sitting right there. I don't know where it's gonna go. The Bollinger Bands are contracting up. The MACD's resetting. But when you look at a weekly one on this one, it just looks a little bit stretched to me. So I took my 148% profit, and I'll just buy back in. So that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Remember, Linktree is where to get to me. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Say bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.